This morning we come to think about what the Apostle Peter says in the 5th chapter of his first letter and in verse number 7. There Peter writes, "Cast all your anxiety on him." And the him that he's speaking about there, of course, is God, because he cares for you. Peter tells us God cares for us. It's lovely to have someone who cares for you, someone who loves you dearly and who would do anything to help you. We all have people like that in our lives. Perhaps our spouse. We know that they love us and they care for us. And whenever we are perhaps going through difficulties, or perhaps when we're sick, they come alongside and they minister to us. If we're ill, they bring us our medicine, they make sure we're okay and we're warm, and do all the things that someone who loves you and cares for you would do. Perhaps it's a really good friend that you have. Maybe you're on your own, you're a widow, a widower. Your spouse is no longer there to care for you in the way that they used to, but you have a wonderful friend. Or maybe you've got a son or a daughter, or you've got a neighbour, and they really care. And they're there each day to make sure you're okay. They do little things for you to help you. And most of all, if you have got something on your mind, they're there to listen. They give you a shoulder to cry on. They come along and they bear that burden that you're carrying. They bear it with you. Well, Peter tells us God cares for us. He cares. He's not a distant, removed God who is isolated from our feelings and not interested in what's going on in our life. He cares. And his care is personal. He cares for you. Yes, he cares for all of his children, but the wonderful thing is that you as an individual are not lost in that great company of the redeemed. God cares for you personally. And knowing that that's the case, Peter then encourages his readers to cast their anxiety on God. In other words, to go to God with the things that are causing them to be concerned, things that are causing them to be anxious, nervous, and to cast it on God. The picture is of taking a great heavy burden off your back and putting it on someone else to carry it. A bit like having a very heavy rucksack that you've been carrying around for hours, and it's just getting to a stage where you want to get a bit of a break from it. And so you go and you ask someone else, "Will you carry this for me?" And they agree to do it. Well, likewise with our burdens, with our anxieties, with our cares and our concerns. And who hasn't got cares and concerns? Who of us would say that we have never been anxious? Of course, we shouldn't be over anxious. The scriptures tell us that. But the reality is that in our humanness, and because of the world we live in, we do get anxious. We do have deep concerns at times. What are we going to do with them? Cast your anxiety on him, because he cares for you. And when you bring it to God and give it to God, leave it with God. Don't come away from God and bring the burden with you. Leave it with God to sort out. Leave it with him to work things through in your daily life. In his sovereign control and providence, he will bring about his perfect will. And he says to your soul, "Be still. Be still. Know that I am God." If you have anxieties today, brethren, Take them to the only one who can do anything about them. Cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. Have a good day.